Solar system about 100 million km away from Earth and space. 12 official level undyings were surrounding a huge dark golden flying disc, attacking Luo Feng and Dylan who were hiding within. Through the ship, unleash your soul attacks against Luo Feng, don't care about anything else, just kill him. Candle Emperor roared mentally, don't ever let that Dylan take Luo Feng into his world. The moment Luo Feng enters a world, then this battle would have no meaning. Yes, Lord. The 12 undyings all unleashed their soul attacks. Even those that weren't proficient in soul attacks did it. The moment the undying energy became hollow, it would have a soul attack effect. No matter if it was a fighter or a spirit reader. They only used their undying energy. Within the ship. Don't worry, with you two in my body they won't be able to barge in. However, the soul attacks will have to be blocked by you two. A huge human face appeared on the wall of the resting cabin. It was laughing at Luo Feng and Dylan. Soul attacks are useless against me, but I have no way to block them either. The materials of this cabin's walls have a certain resistance against the hollow undying energy. It can weaken the soul attacks. This is the only thing I can do. Leave the soul attacks to me, Dylan said solemnly. Simultaneously a formless undying energy revolved around Luo Feng, helping him block the attacks of the 12 undyings. Rumble. Even though he couldn't see, Luo Feng could feel the illusory undying energy clashing and clashing within the cabin. These bastards are actually able to disperse the world energy I use, Your Majesty, I have no way of absorbing you into my world. Dylan's expression was anxious. These bastards are all attacking you. From the looks of it, they're purely trying to kill you. Kill me? Luo Feng was shocked within. Dylan, can you block them? It's very taxing. Dylan communicated, his expression serious. Luckily I specialize in the soul aspect. I'm very proficient in soul defense too. Plus the materials of the cabin's walls have a weakening effect. That's why I can temporarily block them. However, amongst the 12 official level undyings, 3 of them specialize in soul attacks. As time goes on, I'm afraid I won't be able to hold on. Rumble. Boom. Time and time again the soul attacks clashed head-on. Dylan controlled the undying energy and formed a complex multifaceted barrier around Luo Feng, blocking the attacks time and time again. Dylan, hold on for a while, the 9-Blade Knight's troops are about to arrive. Luo Feng communicated. Yes. Dylan's expression was solemn as he desperately defended himself. Ah. A blood-curdling scream rang out. An explosion could be heard from outside the ship. In space, even though the 12 official level undyings knew that the ship had already fused with the metal life form, they maintained their vigilance and maintained a certain distance from the ship. However, they were unable to succeed in launching soul attacks at the spaceship. Naturally, they were even more desperate. The further the distance, the weaker the soul attack. Hence the 12 of them started to approach the universe ships anxiously. Just a moment ago it was very sudden. This dark gold flying saucer's seemingly sturdy body suddenly extended a dark gold metal hand. The entire hand was as fast as lightning, comparable to an Emperor-level undying's attack speed. Grabbing the air, it directly grabbed one of the official level undyings who specialized in soul attacks and exerted strength. With a loud explosion that undying exploded. Be careful of this ship. Stay away from the ship. The other 11 undyings were shocked. Whoosh. A large number of green motes of light converged from every direction, instantly forming into a black-robed violet-haired woman. Clearly her immortal body had already reached the undying level. The violet-haired woman hurriedly sent a mental message. Everyone be careful. This metallic life form has a deep understanding of the edicts of space. Just now, when it crushed my immortal body, the countless strands of immortal power that I split up were actually unable to escape. That slap from it sealed space and forcibly destroyed my immortal power. What? The other 11 were shocked. After training the undying body, being destroyed once didn't affect one's strength at all. Of course it depended on who used it. For example, in Primal Chaos City, back then the Primal Chaos City leader formed a huge palm and casually slapped those 2 undyings, causing them to be extremely close to death, yet still not dead. This level of control was much harder than directly killing 2 undyings. Or like True Yen, he could definitely kill an official level in one move. Haha, let's see if you dare look down on me. Haha, 3 proficient in soul attacks, 1 heavily injured. The other 2 can forget about going all out. A huge human face appeared on the ship, laughing loudly, simultaneously becoming a blur. 2 huge hands extended from the ship, grabbing in all directions. It even focused on the other 2 that were proficient in soul attacks, forcing the 12 official level undyings to dodge and maintain their soul attacks. This naturally greatly reduced their attack power. Through the external simulation, Luo Feng and Dylan could clearly see what was happening outside. It's much easier, Dylan said excitedly. What a strong ship. Luo Feng praised within. This ship was an F9 grade ship that was fused with the metal life form. In terms of defense, it was extremely strong, and the metal life form that was fused with the ship was even more unique. Just like a metal mountain suddenly becoming a life form, its life structure was very different from a flesh and blood life form. In the universe there were many life forms without souls, many, the Masha clansman was one of them. Of course those soulless beings had other life cores. When Luo Feng, Dylan and the metal life ship were no longer in danger of facing the 12 official level undyings, Candle Emperor and the other Emperor level undyings were panicking. Trash. Candle Emperor roared within. Ah, Candle Emperor, you can't even hurt Luo Feng, I think you should just give up. Bloodthirsty Emperor laughed loudly, recovering a peculiar-looking blade and clashing with the 6 Emperor-level undyings. Rumble. The surrounding universe space was completely torn apart. Every time it tried to close up, it would tear apart again. A diameter of over 1,000,000 km space was completely torn apart. Within the space debris, the 7 Emperor-level undyings clashed with each other. The space debris couldn't even hurt them at all. Peng. Candle Emperor took a blade head-on. His entire body instantly retreated tens of thousands of km, spitting out a mouthful of golden blood. Senior, what do we do? The other 5 were anxious too, the black armored lady communicated. The 6 of us are still at a disadvantage against bloodthirsty Emperor. Those 12 trash can't even kill Luo Feng, we're just wasting time here. 4 bloodthirsty Emperor to be able to reach here. I think the virtual universe company's people will arrive soon. I know. Candle Emperor was very anxious. At this time. In the distance, the dark gold flying saucer suddenly glowed with a golden light. Under the misty golden light, an incomparably huge pressure spread out. This pressure was so strong, it instantly enveloped the surrounding 10 million kilometers. Even Candle Emperor, Bloodthirsty Emperor and the other Emperor-level undyings who were fighting stopped. God country transfer. Candle Emperor's expression was ashen. The blur of silhouettes, every one of them emitted a shocking pressure. Gathered together, it reached an unbelievable level. Even from over 1,000,000 km away, Candle Emperor still felt his heart tremble. Silence. The space quietened down. The 12 official-level undyings, Candle Emperor, Gold Waterfall Emperor and the other Emperor-level undyings gathered. Bloodthirsty Emperor too flew towards the dark gold ship. The ship's body naturally opened a cabin door. Luo Feng and Dylan immediately flew into space. My God. Luo Feng looked at the blur of silhouettes in space, completely shocked. With one look, there were at least 1,000 of them. Every one of their auras seemed to surpass Dylan. There were even many that were comparable to Bloodthirsty Emperor. In the silent space, the sudden arrival of over 1,000 undyings from the God country, their power was even stronger than the undying bug mother nest from before. These weren't normal 1,000 undyings, they were the true elites of a knight's army, able to easily destroy an undying bug mother nest. These 1,000, the leader was a jade green armored lady with 2 blades on her back. A cold energy emanated from her body. Luo Feng. She looked at him. We are here on the orders of the knight to protect you. Thank you, knight, thank you everyone. Luo Feng bowed respectfully in space. The jade green armored god, with the entire army's pressure, looked at Candle Emperor and said coldly, Candle Emperor, Luo Feng is a member of the Virtual Universe Company. What right does your Battle-axe Coliseum have to act against a member of the Virtual Universe Company? Candle Emperor's expression was ugly. Wiping the blood from his lips, he snorted coldly. Attention all, capture the Candle Emperor. The jade green armored god ordered. Yes. Immediately, a total of 26 Emperor-level undyings rushed over like lightning. This immediately caused the expressions of Candle Emperor and the other emperors to change. The Virtual Universe Company and Battle-axe Coliseum were humanity's 2 strongest powers. It was normal for them to compete with each other. Today, Candle Emperor wasn't in the right. The moment he was captured, it would be troublesome for the Battle-axe Coliseum to send people to get him back. And if he was captured, it would be a huge loss of face. Scram? The Dark Candle Monarch's eyes were filled with madness. He suddenly roared, and the ancient pattern on his forehead suddenly lit up. An incomparably terrifying aura spread in all directions, as if a peerless beast was slowly awakening. The center of the Dark Candle Monarch's eyebrows split open, revealing a purple vertical eye. The purple vertical eye shot out a purple light that swept through the surrounding space, causing the surrounding space to freeze. He would rather be heavily injured than be captured. Rumble. Ripples appeared in the space. A pressure suddenly descended, like a god dragon descending to suppress countless ants. That pressure that made one unable to resist immediately spread out in the surrounding star fields. The undying army that was originally filled with energy was immediately suppressed. Even Luo Zhu Emperor, who was about to explode, was suppressed. His technique was forcefully stopped. A blurry silhouette gradually appeared. Standing beside the vast army of undyings, Luo Feng could clearly feel the terrifying pressure they emitted. Babata's shrill voice resounded in his mind. Undying army. These undyings are all stronger than your teacher Hu Yenbo. This is definitely the most elite undying army. There's actually not a single normal undying. Luo Feng hadn't even recovered from the terrifying pressure. 26 Emperor rank undyings surrounded and attacked Candle Monarch. Candle Monarch had gone mad and flipped out. Rumble. Candle Emperor's purple eye split open in between his eyebrows, condensing the surrounding 1,000,000 kilometers of space. That ancient terrifying energy immediately caused the weakest Luo Feng to fall into a nightmare. Luo Feng could only feel the vast universe vanish, leaving only that purple eye floating in space. What a terrifying Candle Emperor. Luo Feng was shocked. However, following that, a pressure that was 100 to 1,000 times stronger descended, causing Luo Feng's entire soul to rumble. His vision went dark and he immediately lost consciousness. Only when he awoke did he hear Candle Emperor's detestable voice. Father! Flame Eroding Knight? Luo Feng blinked as he looked over. In the distant space, a majestic silhouette stood there. His silhouette was blurry. Around him was a black flame that filled the sky. The black flame spread over 1,000,000 kilometers. If a planet like Earth touched this flame, it would instantly turn to ash. Even the universe space was burnt into particles under this flame. Even the large amounts of space debris in between the layers were burned into particles. At this time, the entire solar system was under his pressure. In the universe space, I am the sole ruler. I am the ruler of this space. Luo Feng could clearly feel this feeling, that black flame that was comparable to the size of the sun, that blurry silhouette was indeed invincible. This is the sector lord level that can kill an official level undying. After becoming an emperor, in just a few tens of thousands of years he became a universe knight. Flame Eroding Knight. Luo Feng thought, after trillions of years, this flame Eroding Knight is indeed terrifyingly strong. That black flame, back then when the Tianshi Palace leader demonstrated the 9 black planets revolving, it seemed to be this type of flame. Comparing the Tianshi Palace leader to Flame Eroding Knight, the leader was even more reserved. The Tianshi Palace leader was even more reserved. He probably didn't want to bully Luo Feng back then, hence his aura was more reserved. Venerable Shi Huo, on the other hand, was wreathed in black flames that spanned 1,000,000 kilometers, erupting with a terrifying pressure. Paying respects to Overseer Flame. The green-armored lady bowed respectfully. After which, the undying army behind her also bowed respectfully. We greet Reverend Shi Huo. Luo Feng and Dylan followed suit and bowed. Greetings, teacher. Greetings, venerable one. The 12 official level and 5 emperor level undyings all bowed respectfully. Only Luo Zhu King, whose face was glowing purple, slowly closed his third eye, excitedly calling out Father, following which he pointed at the undying army. Father, the undyings under 9-blade Knight actually want to capture me. Humph. A cold snort caused Luo Feng's consciousness to tremble. That cold snort reverberated within the consciousness of every undying present. You'd rather use a forbidden technique than beg me? The majestic silhouette within the black flame said slowly with a sense of anger. I'll let you train well and quickly reach the point where you can control that treasure. Then why would you need to fear those emperor-level undyings? Yes. Luo Zhu Emperor bowed respectfully, not daring to say more. The black flame silhouette seemed to turn and look at the undying army. That rumbling voice once again reverberated within everyone's mind. Jade. Jade greets Reverend Shi Huo. The undying army's leader, the green-armored lady, said respectfully. Jade, 9-blade Knight's strongest emperor-level undyings. Jade, Tong Nan and Tru Yen were close friends from the same era. They often went to dangerous secret regions together, going through life and death situations time and time again. Their relationship was extremely good. And obviously the three of them were incredibly strong, belonging to the pinnacle of the emperors. Of course, Tru Yen belonged to the countless races of the universe, the trillions of undyings that were closest to the Knight level. Against the universe Knights, he was an existence that couldn't die. Jade King and Tong Nan King were slightly weaker than Tru Yen. Jade. Within the black flames, Reverend Shi Huo raged. Are you the one who gave the order to capture my son? Reverend Shi Huo. Jade was beautiful. Her jade green armor was crystal clear. Standing in space, it was almost like she didn't exist. Obviously she was able to withstand the pressure. Smiling respectfully, we are under the Knight's orders to protect Luo Feng, and Night Candle brought people to capture him or even kill him. No matter what, Luo Feng is a core member of the Virtual Universe Company. If he needs to be punished, it should be the Virtual Universe Company's punishment. Night Candle's actions slightly exceeded his authority. Hence, I have to capture him and bring him to see the Knight. Night Candle is my son. Even if he is punished, it's not up to 9 blades. Reverend Shi Huo's voice was like thunder. It made the entire undying army reveal pained expressions. Luo Feng didn't feel anything at all. Strange. Luo Feng looked at the 1,000 undyings beside him. Dylan and Bloodthirsty Emperor all revealed pained expressions. Only he wasn't affected. It's probably because I'm too weak. The moment it lands on me, I'll probably die immediately, hence that Reverend Shi Huo held back a little. Luo Feng thought. Seeing the entire undying army reveal pained expressions, Night Candle Emperor and the others however were delighted. This is just a small punishment. Reverend Shi Huo said coldly, remember, don't be disrespectful in front of any knight. Jade could only lower her head and bow respectfully. Yes. After all, in terms of strength, Reverend Shi Huo was stronger than 9 blades by a little. Within the black flames, Reverend Shi Huo's gaze suddenly landed on Luo Feng. His voice became more amiable. You are Luo Feng? Truly powerful, forcing Jade to lower her head, the entire undying army submitting to this pressure. While Luo Feng was still sighing, he noticed the distant majestic figure within the flames gazing at him. The gaze landed on him. Luo Feng was momentarily dazed. He heard a gentle voice in his ear. That's Luo Feng? The entire undying army were all dumbstruck. This was the extremely tyrannical Reverend Shi Huo? He was definitely a genius amongst geniuses. Reverend Shi Huo didn't even need to care about any small fry, however he actually used such a tone to speak to Luo Feng. I am. Luo Feng was stunned too. He quickly reacted and bowed respectfully. Greetings, Reverend. Reverend Shi Huo's voice didn't have a trace of anger, it was filled with warmth. I originally wanted my son to come and discuss the ownership of Earth with you. I didn't expect this useless son of mine to end up like this. Luo Feng blinked. Jade and the other undyings were stunned. Candle Emperor stared wide-eyed. Father? Shut up. Reverend Shi Huo roared coldly, causing Candle Emperor to be even more anxious and furious. The entire atmosphere in space was hard to comprehend. Reverend Shi Huo's pampering of his son was something everyone knew, however today he was actually so polite to a Domain Lord punk, and even scolded his own son. This was an unbelievable matter. much less Luo Feng, who was a genius in tens of thousands of years. Even a genius in tens of millions of years wouldn't have the right to do this. A genius was a genius. A strong was a strong. Before becoming a true warrior, he didn't have the right to make Reverend Shi Huo's level of being so polite. Luo Feng, I'll personally discuss with you whether or not you're willing to sell Earth to me. Reverend Shi Huo smiled at Luo Feng. Whatever conditions you want, just state them. Luo Feng said respectfully, Earth is my home, it's also the home of my entire race. No matter what, I'm not willing to sell it. Luo Feng saw through the situation. No matter what. Nine-Blade Knight had already interfered. This was already a clash between the two powers. Reverend Shi Huo wouldn't directly make a move against him. Ah, the birthplace of your race? Reverend Shi Huo nodded. As the birthplace of your race, Earth is indeed very important to you. I won't force you. Candle. Reverend Shi Huo looked at his son. Candle Emperor was stunned. Even though he was called Candle Emperor, this was just a title, usually to show respect or to be more formal. Only then would one call him Candle Emperor. As for those who felt that they had a high status, perhaps they would address him as Dark Candle, omitting the word king at the end. However, Candle Emperor's true name was Meng Cha Luo. As a father, Reverend Shi Huo usually called his son Cha Luo. It was more intimate. Only when his father wasn't happy would he call him Candle Emperor. Father. Candle Emperor felt that his father's tone wasn't right, shouting respectfully. I only asked you to buy the rights to Earth. I didn't expect you to actually go this far. If that Dylan didn't protect Luo Feng well, would you have killed him? Reverend Shi Huo's voice was low, filled with rage. Father? Candle Emperor looked up at his father, feeling suspicious. You're getting more and more out of control. If this goes on, who knows how much more trouble you'll cause. Reverend Shi Huo said coldly, I'll punish you now, to the 9th starfield prison for 1,000 years. Father. Candle Emperor's eyes stared wide. Luo Feng, Bloodthirst Emperor, Jade Emperor, Dylan etc., all the undyings in space were stunned. My God. In history, Reverend Shi Huo had thrown his son into the 9th starfield prison before, however that was only for 1,000 years. However this time it was actually 1,000 years, that was over 10 million years, and it was in the 9th starfield prison. That was definitely a long nightmare. All the undyings were stunned. Damn it, even if Candle Emperor killed Luo Feng, he wouldn't receive such a heavy punishment. All of you return. Flame Erosion ordered the 5 Emperor-level undyings and 12 official-level undyings. Yes, Knight. Yes, teacher. The many undyings bowed respectfully. Following which Gold Waterfall Emperor unleashed his undying energy and swept them all. He first teleported a light year away and then used various methods to leave. After all, if they used the God Country teleportation in front of the 9-Blade Knight's undyings, it would reveal the location of the God Country. Flame Candle, release all the Earth people. Flame Erosion ordered. Yes. Flame Candle Emperor didn't dare resist. He transformed into a stream of light and flew to Earth. At the same time, he released a large number of Earthlings from another world back to Earth. Tens of billions of people were scattered all over Earth. The original Chinese people might have appeared in North America, and some Caucasians might have appeared in Africa. The entire Earth was in chaos. He believed that to send everyone back to their homes and for the Earth to return to order, it would take at least 10 days to half a month, and this was with Earth's advanced technology. After a while, Flame Candle Emperor flew back. Venerable Shi Huo glanced at his son, Dark Candle Monarch, who seemed to have lost his wits. He shook his head and said in a low voice, Follow me. Rumble. Black flames wrapped around his son. In an instant the father and son pair vanished. Within the vast God Country. Flame Erosion and Flame Candle Emperor appeared at the peak of one of the mountains in the vast God Country. Father. Flame Candle Emperor looked at Flame Erosion, his eyes filled with rage and unwillingness. Why did you punish me to that 9th starfield prison and even 1,000 years? Don't tell me it's because of that Luo Feng. I don't believe it at all. Even if I killed him, I wouldn't have to go to the 9th starfield prison for 1,000 years. Flame Candle Emperor was indeed furious. Even though he respected his father, the punishment was too heavy. He held it in, holding it in until now to ask. He wanted to know the truth. T-Vain. Flame Erosion reached out and rubbed his son's head, saying softly, This was indeed not what I wanted. Flame Candle Emperor's eyes gleamed. However, this was ordered by my teacher. He said you've crossed the line and had to be punished. Flame Erosion sighed. Back then he said, to lock you in the 9th starfield prison for 1,000 years, it's a small punishment. Father, your teacher? Candle King's eyes widened. Boom. Flame Monarch felt like his head was about to explode. His father, Venerable Devourer Flame, had formed his own faction in the Battle-axe Coliseum and wielded immense power. Even compared to the Undying Venerable, the difference wasn't huge. Although the Undying Venerable had a high status and was powerful, he was independent and did not form any cliques. Therefore, Reverend Shi Huo was not too afraid of Venerable Undying. However, Exalted Flame Devourer's teacher was different. The true leader of Fire Eater's faction was Venerable Fire Eater's teacher. Venerable Devourer was nothing more than one of that mighty existence's disciples. That great existence was the true overlord of the Battle-axe Coliseum. Perhaps only the founder of the Battle-axe Coliseum could suppress that overlord. Lord of Void Gold. Flame Monarch said hoarsely. Venerable Eclipse Fire's teacher, the Lord of Void Gold. The true overlord level existence of the human race over countless years. In one of the two strongest powers of humanity, the Battle-axe Coliseum, he had absolute power. In the Battle-axe Coliseum, only the strongest pinnacle existence of humanity, the founder of the Battle-axe Coliseum, could make him lower his head. The Lord of Void Gold said he wanted to punish me? Flame Monarch was extremely shocked. The great Lord of Void Gold, why would he notice me? Lord of Void Gold. High above, even the universe country leaders knelt before him. Even Reverend Shi Huo and the others had to kneel before him. Even the entire Golden Horn race, in front of the Lord of Void Gold, they had to tremble. Amongst the most ancient and tyrannical beings of the entire human race, he was one of the top figures. To be able to mention Flame Monarch's name, Flame Monarch should be proud and proud. And this was in the pinnacle human race. Like the Golden Horn race and many other races in the universe, they couldn't even produce an absolute overlord like the Lord of Void Gold. Even for the human race, who knew how many calamities and tribulations they had to go through before they could produce a powerful being like the Lord of Void Gold. Father. Flame Monarch looked anxiously at his father. Why would the Lord of Void Gold notice me? He was afraid. Even his father feared the Lord of Void Gold, belonging to the faction of the Lord of Void Gold. If the Lord of Void Gold were to kill him, who could protect him? Teacher said to punish you. I don't know the details. If he didn't say the reason, I wouldn't dare ask. Reverend Shi Huo looked at him. However, don't worry with teacher's position. How noble is he? He wouldn't go so far as to deal with a punk like you. Flame Monarch nodded. Teacher's orders makes me suspect, if that Luo Feng has some connection with teacher. Reverend Shi Huo frowned. Ah. Flame Monarch was shocked. Father, you were so polite to him earlier, so it was because the things you did on Earth, however, attracted teacher's attention, and he wanted to punish you. Reverend Shi Huo nodded. Teacher is very protective, yet he still let you enter the 9th starfield prison for 1,000 years. I can't help but guess that teacher and Luo Feng have some connection. However, Luo Feng is from the Virtual Universe Company, the Void Gold Lord is from our Battle-axe Coliseum. Flame Monarch said. I'm not sure about the mysteries within. Reverend Shi Huo shook his head. Flame Monarch sighed within. He hoped that one day his father would also become in existence like the Lord of Void Gold. Then he would be even more amazing. Whether it was the Primal Chaos City Master or the Lord of Void Gold, they both stood at the pinnacle of the human race. They could even be said to stand at the pinnacle of countless races in the vast universe. Since teacher has ordered, then you shall go to the 9th starfield prison for 1,000 years. You have indeed caused quite a bit of trouble these few years, you should focus on training. Once you can grasp that treasure, you won't have to fear anyone under the night level. Even against that true yin you'll be able to fight. After all, strength is the most important. Father can't always protect you. Reverend Shi Huo said. Flame Monarch nodded. Solar system. The vast undying army led by Jade Monarch also turned into a blurry light and teleported away from the God Nation, leaving only bloodthirsty Emperor Dylan and Luo Feng in space. Just like that. Luo Feng was shocked. Aren't they afraid the coordinates will be leaked? The one who activated the God Country teleportation must be an undying slave of one of the undyings. Bloodthirsty Emperor laughed casually. And after the God Country teleportation, that undying slave will definitely work hard to shift the God Country's location. That way the coordinates will be useless. Shift the God Country's location? Luo Feng was curious. The God Country is in between space layers, and the space layers are endless. The God Country can naturally move forward and leave its original location. Bloodthirsty Emperor said. However, the God Country's movement speed is very slow. If someone immediately chases after the coordinates, then it'll be very dangerous. Luo Feng nodded. Junior, you know Reverend Shi Huo? Bloodthirsty Emperor looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng shook his head. No, I've only been born for a few hundred years, how would I know Reverend Shi Huo? Then why is he so polite? It's too weird. Bloodthirsty Emperor creased his eyebrows. Universe Knights are all powerful beings in the universe, it's hard to find a match. To Domain Lord punks like you, they usually don't bother with you. I don't understand anyway. Luo Feng was puzzled. After which Luo Feng smiled and invited, Senior, it's rare for you to come to Earth, come sit at my place. All right. Bloodthirsty Emperor was straightforward. Earth, China, Yangzhou City, Luo family's old mansion. After Luo Feng returned, he immediately released his family. Dad. Master. Luo Feng. The Luo family mansion was immediately bustling with activity. Luo Hongwa said, Little Feng, I was suddenly brought into a world earlier, I immediately connected to the virtual universe network and contacted many old friends, only then did I find out that many of my old friends on Earth were brought into this world. I heard that over 10 billion people on Earth were all brought in together. However, my old friends didn't know it was you who brought them in, hence they were all terrified. Ha. Luo Feng laughed. The other people on Earth didn't bring them in themselves. It's a mess. Luo Feng used his spirit energy to sweep across Yangzhou City, he couldn't help but laugh. It was a summer day, yet there were many white people in cotton coats appearing in the city, there were even some naked foreigners holding towels on the streets. Some even appeared on the roofs of the skyscrapers. Virtual Universe, Thunder Island. Nine-Blade Knight mobilized such a huge undying army, and they gathered at the Primal Region's 9th teleportation point. Naturally, the upper echelon of the Virtual Universe Company quickly found out about it. What happened on Earth couldn't be hidden, causing many of the knights to come and ask Nine-Blade Knight about it. Haha, I've asked my good friends at the Battle-axe Coliseum, it's not just Flame Eroding Knight and Undying Knight. The Battle-axe Coliseum actually has many more knights, they're all sending their elites to Earth. However, Flame Eroding Knight was the first to act. Luckily he didn't succeed. Right, if Earth is really a treasure land, it should belong to our virtual universe company. That leader of Earth, that punk called Luo Feng, is a genius nurtured by our virtual universe company. Nine-Blade, Earth is a very normal life planet. If there was anything special they would have discovered it long ago. Just what made the large amounts of knights from the Battle-axe Coliseum send their underlings to Earth? What's so special about Earth? Nine-Blade, tell me? I really don't know at all. Thunder Island, Nine-Blade Knight's palace. Those powerful knights and universe country leaders arrived and left one after another. The virtual universe company's knights and country leaders, over 80% of them came to ask Nine-Blade Knight about him. The palace regained its calm. Dressed in jade green armor, Monarch Jadeite walked into the palace. Then a figure appeared out of nowhere on the throne in the palace. It was the azure-robed, purple-scaled man. Monarch Jadeite bowed respectfully, Sovereign. Arrange it, I want to personally meet this Luo Feng. Nine-Blade Knight ordered. Yes. Jade Monarch respectfully complied and retreated from the scene. In the palace, the green-robed purple-scaled man frowned, muttering, Earth? Just what's so special about this life planet, to actually make the Battle-axe Coliseum go that crazy? Virtual Universe, Yuxiang Mountain Primal Region, Luo Feng's villa. Within the study, Luo Feng was conversing with his teacher Tru Yen through the screen. That's weird. Tru Yen rubbed his chin and said curiously, that Flame Devourer Knight, even when he goes to the Gold Horn race's Lasheo world, he's still going on a rampage. He doesn't even care about the elders of the Gold Horn race. As he's an absolute genius, hence he's naturally arrogant, to actually be so courteous to a punk like you. Weird. I find it weird too. Luo Feng said helplessly. There's definitely a reason. Tru Yen thought for a while, smiling and shaking his head. If you can't figure it out, don't think too much about it. For Flame Devourer Knight to be courteous to you, at least the hidden reason is a good thing and not a bad thing. Don't think too much about it now. Concentrate on your training and step into the Sector Lord level. Sector Lord level is the most important stage of training, it's also the stage that decides your fate. Luo Feng nodded seriously. After this incident he could clearly feel how weak he was. If he could reach Sector Lord Pinnacle, along with that set of armor, as long as his origin law comprehension increased by a few levels, he wouldn't dare say he could kill an official level, but he would definitely be able to match an official level. After all, just the armor strength alone was close to an official level. Just as he finished conversing with his teacher, suddenly, Luo Feng, Jade Emperor's calling request. Babata shouted from his shoulder. Luo Feng was shocked. Jade Emperor? This was his teacher's life and death friend, and also the Nine-Blade Knight's first Emperor level Undying. Accept. Luo Feng stood up to show respect. A silhouette appeared on the screen. It was the jade green armored woman with a face so beautiful it made one's heart tremble. Jade Emperor. She said coldly, the knight wants to see you. Wait in the villa, I'll be there immediately. In a while, I'll bring you to meet him. Nine-Blade Knight? Luo Feng was shocked, however he still replied respectfully, yes. Moments later, Luo Feng, who was waiting quietly within the villa, saw a beam of light flash past in the distance. Entering the villa, it was Jade Emperor. Lord, where are we going to meet the knight? Luo Feng was curious. You're not undying yet, hence you can't go to Thunder Island, to the knight's personal space. Jade looked at Luo Feng. Follow me to the teleportation point. Yes. Luo Feng followed. He first arrived at a teleportation point in Yuxiang Mountain, then he was directly teleported to Venerable Nine-Sword space. After all, the virtual universe was only virtual, so it could easily create a large number of planes. For example, the genius battle was usually held in a single plane. The live broadcast of the Battle-axe Coliseum was also carried out on a large number of islands in a fixed plane space. Normal undyings didn't have the right to own their own space, however knights did. Venerable Nine-Swords plane space. Wow. Luo Feng stood at the foot of the mountain, looking up at the 9 majestic sword mountains that seemed like they could pierce through the skies. He couldn't help but be shocked. The 9 sword-shaped mountains were all 100,000 kilometers tall. Even with Luo Feng's vision, he could only vaguely see the silhouette of the mountains, especially the tallest one in the center. He couldn't even see it clearly. The knight is in the 9-blade shrine. Jade led Luo Feng, flying straight into the center of the valley where the 9 mountains surrounded the palaces. The palaces were extremely beautiful, of which the 9-blade shrine was the most majestic. So, Jade and Luo Feng landed in front of the shrine. The 2 undying standing there didn't stop them. Follow me in. Jade led the way into the shrine. Luo Feng naturally followed obediently. The pressure within the shrine shrouded the area. Jade walked to the staircase near the shrine and bowed respectfully. Knight. Knight. Luo Feng bowed respectfully too. As his status was comparable to an official level undying, hence Luo Feng didn't have to kneel when he saw a universe knight. If it was a normal sector lord or an absolute beginning member, they would normally kneel to show respect when they saw a universe knight. Jade, you can leave first. A clear voice resounded. Yes. Jade vanished in mid-air. Rumble. The shrine's door slammed shut, leaving only 2 within. Luo Feng and 9-blade Knight. Feeling the shrine's door close, Luo Feng looked up shocked, looking at the green armored purple-scaled man seated in the throne. That pressure emanating from him made one want to submit to him. Luo Feng. Nine-Blade Knight gazed below and said, "Here." Luo Feng listened respectfully. "Let me ask you." Nine-Blade Knight gazed at Luo Feng simultaneously saying, "The things that happened on Earth, what do you have to say in detail?" Luo Feng shook his head. "I'm confused. From what I know, the Battle-axe Coliseum didn't just send Undying Knight and Fire Eroding Knight, they also sent many other knights to Earth. However, as it was too far, they didn't make it in time. So many knights are paying attention to Earth, and you are the leader of Earth, you should know the reason." Nine-Blade Knight examined Luo Feng. "Knight, Undying Knight and Fire Eroding Knight came to buy Earth from me, however they didn't tell me about its secret." Luo Feng said respectfully, "If I knew about it earlier, I would have reported it long ago, and I wouldn't have landed in such a dangerous situation." The Nine-Blade Knight in the throne observed Luo Feng's expression, gaze and his words. Finally he confirmed. Luo Feng indeed didn't know about the secret. Nine-Blade Knight immediately sighed within, sighing that the Battle-axe Coliseum was too secretive, not even revealing the secret to Luo Feng. Right, if the Virtual Universe Company knew about the secret of Earth, if it was really important, they would definitely hide it and not tell the Battle-axe Coliseum. Remember. Nine-Blade Knight's voice was serious. Luo Feng bowed. "Other than the island you promised the Undying Knight, from now on, without the Virtual Universe Company's orders, without my orders, you are forbidden from making any deals with Earth." Nine-Blade Knight emphasized, "Especially the Universe Knights of the Battle-axe Coliseum, no matter how much they give you, you are forbidden from selling Earth. Just say, this is an order from the Virtual Universe Company, you cannot go against it." "Yes." Luo Feng replied respectfully. "Go." Nine-Blade Knight waved his hand. The First Majesty Luo Feng vanished into thin air, obviously leaving the virtual universe. Nine-Blade Knight however creased his eyebrows, saying solemnly, "Secret? Since it's a secret, then don't even think about getting any of Earth's territory." Meeting with Nine-Blade Knight, especially his last order, Luo Feng easily understood the reason. Obviously the upper echelon of the Battle-axe Coliseum knew about Earth's secret, but the Virtual Universe Company didn't, hence both sides were in a stalemate. "If you don't tell me about Earth's secret, you can forget about getting any of Earth's territory." Luo Feng Hong's mail. Not long after the conversation with Nine-Blade Knight, Luo Feng received Hong's mail, agreeing to meet at 9-Star Bay. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-Star Bay. Within a quiet courtyard. Luo Feng Hong and the white-robed bald Thunder God gathered together. "Right now Earth is in a mess." Thunder God exclaimed, "I'm not on Earth and it's actually this chaotic. With you Earth is still in a mess." Hong smiled, "This time Earth's matter is very complicated, it even involves the Universe Knights." "Big brother, you know about it too?" Luo Feng looked shocked at Hong. Hong smiled and nodded. "Earlier when over 10 billion people of Earth were absorbed into one world, a few friends of mine contacted me through the Virtual Universe Network to tell me about it. That was why I was shocked. With just a little investigation I found out about the undying sent by the flame-eroding knight on Earth." Thunder God didn't realize how special this sentence was. Luo Feng was shocked. "You can find out about this?" Luo Feng couldn't believe it. The Battle-axe Coliseum was a super organization comparable to the Virtual Universe Company. Such a power's internal management was very strict. Position and authority were very clear. Different positions had different levels of authority. To find out about the flame-eroding knight sending undyings on Earth, that was simply an unbelievable thing. "There's no problem now, right?" Hong smiled. "There's no problem, they've all been released back to Earth." Luo Feng looked suspiciously at Hong. "I'm not asking about that, I'm asking about you and the flame-eroding knight. That flame-eroding knight sent people to find you, did they make things difficult for you?" Hong asked. "No." Luo Feng shook his head. "I guess so too." Hong exclaimed, "The Void Gold Lord's flag is indeed useful. The Void Gold Lord just had to appear and speak a few words to the flame-eroding knight and he immediately listened obediently." "Void Gold Lord?" Luo Feng stared wide-eyed. "Who is the Void Gold Lord?" The white-robed Thunder God too looked shocked at Hong. "Flame-eroding knight? That was a great being that could create a universe country. He actually listened obediently to the Void Gold Lord? Just what kind of terrifying being was this Void Gold Lord?" "Void Gold Lord, third brother, you should know about him too." Hong smiled. "I've been to Primal Chaos City, you two have been there, you should know about the 52 Primal Chaos tablets there." Luo Feng nodded. "One of them is called the Sky Ruin Primal Chaos Tablet, and the creator of this tablet is the Great Void Gold Lord." Hong smiled. "That's a true great being, even the universe country leaders that create universe countries have to kneel before such a being." The Sky Ruin Primal Chaos Tablet was considered very strong amongst the 52 Primal Chaos tablets. According to the levels of the Heavenly Bridge, it had a total of 26 levels. Compared to LuoFeng's 9 Universe Primal Chaos Tablet, it was only one level lower. In the overall rankings, the Sky Ruin Primal Chaos Tablet could be ranked in the top 10. Huge Axe Primal Chaos Tablet first, Universe Primal Chaos Tablet second. The creators of the 52 Primal Chaos Tablets were the true pillars of the human race. Void Gold Lord this. Luo Feng looked shocked at Hong. "Big brother, you recognize the Void Gold Lord?" "Luck." Hong smiled.